Hello, I'm Ashley Thomas, and here is my review of Deadpool 2. A late review again, so I do apologise, but here it is. And this one is directed by David Leitch. He co-directed John Wick, so that got me really excited, especially after finding out that Tim Miller, who directed the first movie, had stepped down. I was quite disappointed with that because I loved the first Deadpool movie. I have that. It was one of my first reviews for this channel, in fact, so I will leave a link for that in the description below. But I loved that first movie, so I was very disappointed when he stepped down, that he wasn't going to do the sequel. He wasn't going to direct the sequel. But then when they announced David Leitch after seeing John Wick, I was like, yeah, good choice. So, Deadpool 2. The biggest difference for me between this movie and the first was this one has a big emotional centre. It has a heart. They've really gone out of their way with this one to really give this movie that heart, that emotion, and give it a bit more of a story, you could say. This was much less contained than the first film. You know, that first Deadpool movie felt like it had a low budget. It even acknowledged that it had a low budget, and it acknowledged that you know, it's trying to make the most of what it had with what it had. And obviously, it being Deadpool, you would expect that. But with the sequel, it felt bigger. It felt more expansive. You could tell they'd thrown a bit more money at it, and I'm not entirely sure if I really preferred. I don't know if I like that. I kind of preferred how that first one felt, how contained it was, and sort of, maybe that's just me. So let's talk about the action first. The action in this movie is fun, it's exciting. It doesn't run quite as smoothly as I expected it to, though, coming from the man who co-directed John Wick and was second unit director on Captain America Winter Soldier. I fancied the action, the way it flowed was a little bit clunky and sort of just, I expected it to flow a little bit more smoother than it did. But overall, the action was really fun, way over the top as you would come to expect, and really exciting. The humour, I love the humour. It retains the humour from the first movie. To an extent, I did feel like they tried a little bit too hard in this one when it came to the humour. There's a lot more of it, but I felt like a lot more of it fell flat. Whereas in the first one, every gag, you know, every movie reference, everything just made me laugh in that first movie. Every single thing when it came to the humour. With this one, there were so many gags, so many references to other movies and all of that. It became a little bit stale. And like I said, a lot of it fell a little bit flat for me. This movie wasn't quite as funny as the first one. But I did, you know, there were moments which I really laughed out loud. This movie has some really funny moments in it. There's one particular moment which is a reference to Basic Instinct. If you've seen the film, you'll know what I'm on about. But yeah, there are moments like that. But whereas the first movie sort of, you had gag, and you'd laugh at every single one. This one was so overloaded that you may even miss a lot of the gags. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, he was made for this role. He was perfect. He was great. I loved him. He looks like he's having a lot of fun. He looks like he's enjoying himself. You know, what took me off guard was it really went out of his way to develop this character, to explore the character more, to have the character grow. Deadpool grows, and you've got this really interesting journey that they put this character on. But when it came to those moments, those sort of more serious, you could say, character moments with the emotion and all of that, again, he delivered. Ryan Reynolds was great as Deadpool. Brolin as Cable was amazing. I loved him. I loved what he did with the character. I just wanted a bit more of him, actually, and I felt like they didn't really give him enough in sort of the comedic side of things. I thought, you know, in what we did see of him, there were some really funny moments with Cable, but I just wanted a bit more. Am I the only one that thinks that or felt that? Let me know below. So, you know, Deadpool 2 was a fun, enjoyable, exciting movie with a big heart at its core. I enjoyed it. But did I enjoy it as much as the first movie? No. And I don't think it's not quite as good as the first movie. As much as I enjoyed as much as I enjoyed Deadpool 2, it's not quite as good for me as the first movie was. It sort of kind of buckles under its weight. You could feel the weight in this movie because they are trying to achieve a lot. They've got a lot more characters in it for one, but they've got this emotional center. They've got this journey that they put in, this emotional journey that they put in Deadpool on, and with all the gags and the movie references, there's a hell of a lot of gags and movie references in this movie, and in all of that, this film does kind of buckle, and as a result, for me, it felt a little bit messy and not quite as consistent as the first movie. The first movie was a hell of a lot more neat, you could say, wrapped in a nice little bow, very self-aware of what it was, and yeah, that first movie was like perfection, really. But this one just felt a little bit more messy and inconsistent, but it's still an enjoyable ride. It's a hell of a lot of fun. You're going to get a lot out of it when it comes to humour. I mean, there are some moments which you will really laugh. Well, I did anyway. The action is great. I love that sort of truck chase scene through the city. It reminded me a lot of the Terminator films, but this movie does reference the Terminator movies quite a lot, and it acknowledges that. But again, it does try so hard to acknowledge so many other movies. It does try so hard with the jokes and the gags, and there are so many of them that, like I said, it did kind of feel a little bit stale when it came to the humour, and not quite as natural. The humour in this movie wasn't quite as natural as the first movie, and as a result, it's sort of a lot of the gags and a lot of the jokes sort of fell flat a little bit for me. I wouldn't have minded actually seeing more of Deadpool wearing high heels trying to kill some gangsters in a nightclub for about 20 minutes. Really. There's a few moments during the first act of the film that shows Deadpool doing his thing, and I found them quite fun. I just wanted a bit more of that, actually. I thought that was really fun, and yeah. So yeah, I really liked Deadpool 2. When it compared to that first one, a little tiny bit of a disappointment for me, but it was good. I liked it, and so yeah, they are my thoughts and opinions of Deadpool 2. And I will be giving it a B. What did you guys think of Deadpool 2? Let me know below. Do you agree or disagree with anything I said? What did you like about the film the most? Did you prefer it over the first film? Let me know and let's get a discussion going. I have got a review coming for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That is the next review. I've seen the film once. Sort of wrote my notes out as well. I want to see it again before I actually do my review. So that one it's going to be slightly delayed, so apologies. But I really wanted to see the film a second time, just before I sort of express my views and opinions. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I loved the first Jurassic World. I'm a massive Jurassic Park fan. But yeah, before I give you guys my verdict on that movie, I really wanted to squeeze it in a second time, which I'm hoping to today. So that review is going to be a little bit later in the week. I do apologise. I'm way behind on reviews at the moment and content for my channel. I do apologise, but all of that will be changing soon, and I will give you an update on that soon as well. But thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. And for all those that have stuck around and still watch my videos, it means a lot to me, and I really do appreciate it. For all of you that are new and you would like to continue to watch future reviews from me, then remember to hit subscribe.